Like the average person, average American is so much fucking stupider than you think.
This is Roy Lee, a 21-year-old who went from getting kicked out of Harvard to a viral moment that helped him catapult his business to a $120 million valuation in under a year. Plus, we'll get into how he went viral by hacking interviews, how you can turn controversy into viral moments, and his blueprint for building the next generation of AI products.
I don't need your help anymore, Joy. I got it. It's magically working now.
I'm Pablo, founder turned VC and now partner at Mistral, and this is the story of Cluely. Dude, so what happened at Harvard?
Senior year of high school, I get into Harvard early action. Later that year, I rescinded from Harvard for a suspension that I received for sneaking out of a school field trip. Eventually, I spend a year thinking this is like God's gift to me. He's sending me a message saying that I'm not meant for college.
Was that like the end of college for you, or did you still see any value in going?
I ended up getting into Columbia actually while I was at community college. I sort of went to Columbia with the intention of leaving as soon as possible, as soon as I found like a co-founder and a wife. In almost all aspects of life, people really undervalue the social element. Most companies die because I think they get the culture wrong, because it's not fun to work at your startup where you're grinding 13 hours a day with people you don't even like. In college, you have the unique opportunity to regularly be forced to interact with like 100 people, like thousands of people your age, and every single one of them could potentially be your best friend and the person that you actually want to be building a company with.
And what about like finding a co-founder? Was that part easy?
I asked about 50 dudes probably, hey, do you want to start a company with me? And 49 of them say no, but one of them says yes, and that person ends up being Neil. I would always go out and try to talk to people and like, yo, you trying to hang out? You trying to get dinner at my place with like a bunch of random strangers? And like nobody would be down, but people in my generation, they're so COVID brain, TikTok brain, they don't know how to interact with real people.
I'm sure you guys had a bunch of ideas. So how did you pick the one you really wanted to go after?
My heart was actually stuck on a previous demo that we made earlier in the semester. That was a demo of a tool called Interview Coder. It was just like a LinkedIn proof of concept. Like, hey, here's some cool technology that we found that lets you have an invisible screen overlay that could see your screen and give you answers during the middle of an interview without anybody knowing. At the time, we just kind of put it to the side and thought like, okay, this is way too risky. Let's not do this because it's going to get us both kicked out of school and blacklisted.
So what's next? Did you have a plan or you just winged it?
If you want to build a company, then I think the answer to building the company always comes in doubling down on the thing that you are very good at. And for me, the things that I'm very good at are extreme tolerance for criticism, and I think a general extremely high appetite for risk, and I think viral sense. And these are like probably my three biggest superpowers. Interview Coder just aligned with everything that I knew I was good at. I knew that I could record myself using this on a big tech interview. I knew it would go viral, and I knew that I could tolerate all the hate that came from it.
So I mean, once you decide on Interview Coder being the thing, what's the next step?
I record myself and I am using Interview Coder in a full Amazon interview. It gives me like a ridiculous LeetCode hard question. I end up passing the interview with flying colors, obviously because I'm cheating. I post it online on YouTube. Amazon takes it down 3 times for copyright strike, whatever the that means. In the interim, it goes viral every single time, and everyone on Twitter is talking about this, and I end up being like literally the front page of Twitter. An Amazon executive sees this, they send a letter to Columbia saying essentially, you need to expel this kid or we're never gonna hire you from your school anymore. And it's like a very thinly veiled threat.
Dude, it's okay. So Harvard rescinds your offer, Columbia's about to kick you out. Are you worried or you just don't give a shit at this point?
So it was really early on when I decided, all right, I'm just gonna full send this thing. I'm gonna try to bait the Columbia admin to expelling me to make like a bigger scene out of this. When's the last time someone got kicked out of an Ivy League to try and build a tech company based around the thing that they got kicked out for? Like probably never in human history. So like already I think I have like a pretty unique story. At the seed stage, you kind of back based on the founder, and I think you back founders that are spiky, and this is like definitely spiky.
How did you go from Interview Coder to Cluely?
In reality, like the more we think about it, the more we realize this is actually probably the correct UX for all AI interaction in the future. Why don't we just capture the biggest market that we can and just fucking like swing as big as possible? We already know that we can go viral because it's what I'm good at. And if we can guarantee get like 100 million views a month, I would prefer to get 100 million views a month on like the way bigger thing. The way bigger thing being just directly compete with ChatGPT.com.
Why do you think it's so valuable to go viral?
I think one of the biggest benefits of going so viral is now you don't really have to talk to users as much because you can sort of see user data. I'd rather see 70,000 user data points rather than talk to 7 users. It allows you to iterate in the correct direction way quicker.
Okay, so you have your idea and you know who your biggest competitor is, but how do you build it? Like, did you do it all solo or did you raise some money to hire some people?
We decided to raise a seed. We scheduled calls for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I didn't even get to the Friday calls because I started on Wednesday and by noon on Thursday, I was finished and the round was like way oversubscribed already. We went in thinking we were going to try to do $3 million at 30 million valuation, but people kept coming in. So we had to close it at one point. So we closed at 5.3 at 30. 2 more hours of investor calls and we probably would have done like 7 mil.
Dude, that's insane. And then since raising your A, what's growth been like?
Klooli as a company involves Klooli the product, and Interview Coder is a subsidiary company. Interview Coder launches February 1st. Right now it's like hovering at around 2 million ARR. Klooli launches April 20th, and right now it's been like a little over 2 months. Klooli has gone from 0 to 5 in that time.
So Klooli looks like a complete rocket ship, and I think a lot of that has to do with you being able to go viral. You said that you know the Twitter algorithm better than anyone. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always had like much stronger viral sense, or like much stronger attunement with short form content algorithms, just because like I'm like Gen Z. I've spent my entire life scrolling Instagram and TikTok reels. Right now, the current decision makers of tech Twitter and everything, like they're a little bit older and they're not as content brained as I am. So I come into Twitter with this content brain. Immediately, I think like, man, this place is like slow and stupid and posting funny, interesting. Why does it not look more like my Instagram Reels page? Because the Instagram Reels page is like literally 100 times more controversial and crazy than anything you will ever see on Twitter. And it felt like the most PC, like toned down. Like I knew I can sort of like cause a ruckus here if I just apply my learnings from Instagram, TikTok to here. That's pretty much exactly what I did. Like the launch video was sort of was like the craziest thing we could post that would have gone sort of viral on Reels, but obviously like Twitter's not caught on, and that's what we landed on. And ever since then, I've like probably done like 3,000 tweets, and now at this point, I can sort of like tell within like plus minus 25% exactly how many impressions every single tweet I post will do.
Okay, so you know what? How about this? Can you break down how the Twitter algorithm works?
Generally, I think with Twitter virality, there's 3 buckets of virality. Informational content goes viral, relatable content goes viral, and engageable content goes viral. So first, informational content. This is when Slate 11 Labs does a launch, and it's like pretty interesting. Or DD makes a post, and it's like a news report on like, oh wow, the latest model benchmarks, blah blah. Like genuinely interesting. It's like tech news that will go viral, but it's very hard to spontaneously just make something like that happen unless you yourself are a research lab and have a launch. Then there's relatable virality, and relatable virality is like shit posts or like shipping a product on Friday at 5 p.m. These are almost not converting at all. Like for you to be relatable with so many people, you need to cast like the widest net possible. But the last thing here, and I think this is actually the broadest category, is the category of engageability.
Okay, so like pretend I'm a founder watching this. What can I actually do to go viral? And not just go viral, but get the right people watching me and ultimately buying my products?
Every single tweet you make with the intention of going viral, imagine someone quote posted your tweet because they have such a strong opinion about it. They quote post your video, your product, or your tweet or anything. Can you see in your head, can you visualize very clearly exactly what strong opinion they will have? If you cannot envision that, then your tweet will not go viral. This is the reason why controversial things do so well, because very rarely will you quote post something and say, man, I really love this. In fact, almost always you'll quote post something and say, like, I feel so strongly negative about this. I have to share the world my negative opinion. I have to shut this down. And that is what feeds engagement. Like generally you can make things more controversial, but things don't have to be controversial to be engageable. Average American is so much stupider than you think. If a farmer from Kansas picked this up in the daily newspaper, would he be able to read your tweet and understand exactly what you're talking about? 99% of the time, it's no. And if you cannot market to 100 million people, then you cannot have a tweet that's viewed by 1 million people. Second thing is you have to have that natural component of someone will engage with this.
But what's like your process for coming up with an idea, and how do you know for sure that people are actually going to engage?
There's almost no idea that you cannot boil down to like 1 or 2 core sentences. Really, at the end of the line, 50% of people in the world love you and 50% of the people in the world hate you. And you see this like probably most prominently with the American political parties. I mean, like there's a reason why elections are so close every year, and why the American president has more power than anybody else in the world. It's like opinions are so divided, and it has to be the case for you to be relevant. For you to be in the heart of the audience, you must start with being in the mind of the audience, and to be in the mind of the audience, you must be in the eyes of the audience. And that means necessarily go viral, and go viral necessarily means be controversial.
A lot of this stuff on Twitter seems to just be about momentum and like a meme turning to a bigger meme and a bigger meme. Like, how do you get that going, and then how do you ride that over time?
People don't know this, but like even at the point of Klooli, I'm still riding the initial momentum of Interview Coder. Like that first post going viral, the fucking distribution potential goldmine that you get out of just making something very reactionary and then reacting to all the reactions over and over again cyclically, it will literally like spiral you up into something that you never even knew existed. It started with me building the cheating tool for interviews, Interview Coder. That goes viral, and then eventually like I just keep doubling down until I build a product that has nothing to do with cheating pretty much, and I'm just forced to call it cheat on everything so that it can like spark reactions, and I can ride the algo pull of that initial momentum. Like people do not fucking understand. I feel like nobody on Twitter gets how important it is to keep the momentum alive of the algorithm.
What's the best thing that's happened to you as a result of like one of these posts really blowing up and going crazy viral?
We literally signed $1 million enterprise contracts because people think my Twitter is funny. Like it's pretty obvious that like it's not just 18-year-old Gen Z that are on short form now. Like now, literally everybody in the world is on short form. The corporate world is not caught on to the fact that literally everybody is on short form.
I mean, you're the CEO of an entire startup now. There's a million different things you have to do. How do you split your time between that and going viral? Is it just you, or like do you have a full team doing it?
I'd say probably like 20% of my headspace is devoted to the whole marketing, go-to-market side of things. But now at this point, we have like an in-house film studio, and sort of the only thing I need to do is say, hey, I think we need to do this sort of launch video. This sort of thing will go viral. And then I pass it off to a script writer, and he writes the script, and then he passes it off to a runner who will go out and get all the props necessary, make the scene. He will work with our director of photography. They'll make the shot, and they'll pass it off to our editor. We'll edit the whole thing in-house, and the whole operation takes like maybe 2 weeks.
So it obviously going from 0 to 5 million in 2 months is insanely impressive, but where does Klookly really go from here? Like, how do you build a long-term sustainable company?
Data integrations and actions are like the next big thing. Like, can you imagine that this doesn't just integrate with the web? Imagine it integrates with all your emails, your Google Drive, your Notion, and knows truly everything about you, and it can like contextually rag over everything. Now, when you have a meeting with a person, you can like literally all the relevant information in your life is fed into this one thing. You can just spit out to you the 1 or 2 sentences that you need most in that moment. That's crazy. Imagine for enterprise, we integrate with your Salesforce, your HubSpot, your every single CRM, every single database of customer case study that you've ever done. Now you're in a call. Now you can bring up exactly the most relevant case studies, exactly the most relevant consumers. Like that's like insane value add. It's never been done before.
So there's a lot of founders listening to the show. What's one thing that you would want to tell them?
I'd say take more risks, and the opportunities in short form content are much bigger than you think. In our generation, there are 2 very big opportunities, and only one of them has been fully realized. One being AI, which obviously every tech entrepreneur is on, and the other being short form content. The ability to snap your fingers, record a 10-second video, and have that be seen by 100 million people. This has never before been possible in human history, and you have no idea how powerful that can be.